Good afternoon, y'all. Another day is always another opportunity. It's your boy JB, also known as I Am Battle Strong, and we are back with another podcast, y'all, of going over this book just the other day. We actually have our special guest, Collins, who is getting ready to join us live, and we will actually have a Q&A, question and answers after this brief chapter. So sorry, I'm waiting on him to join us. So give us 1 second. For those that don't know, this is the I Am Battle Strong podcast with Collins. We've been going over this book. We're now in chapter 7. So what Collins wants to do is what he's going to do is do a question and answers with us. So for anyone that has any questions that, I don't know, we learned Swahili, in chapter, I believe, 4 or 5. So if any of you guys ever have any questions or anything for him, feel free to join us. He should be coming in right now. All right, he's going to join us right now. Hopefully people can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you here.
Perfect. Check him out. He's got the shirt on, man. We matching.
Yes, we are. I'm super
Man,
excited, Joshua.
I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And again, guys, for those of you guys that might be new tuning in, this is Collins. This is our special guest. This is the author of the book, Just the Other Day. And so as we get ready to hop into chapter 7, which is titled, I Will Never Give Up, we'll go over this chapter, and then there's a Q&A at the end. So if anyone has any questions or anything that they want to ask Collins, feel free to type below in the comments and share this video with someone if you can relate. Let's hop right into it. It says, I'm going to do great things, and I will never give up. I said desperately and in disbelief while surrounded by my coworkers. I don't know where I found the courage to say these words, but I know that they came out randomly. It was September 2021 at a going away party. It was one of my last very few days in Virginia. Anytime I feel like giving up, these words always prey on my mind. What made you say these words? Someone may be asking. I don't know why I said them, but I can tell you they have given me strength in my life. I've said them while broken into pieces. I was mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted with everything. Have you ever heard of the term confused element? One of the periodic table, hydrogen, has a rare combination of chemical and physical properties to consider it to be a confused element. When I was in high school, Mr. Mr. Undo, our chemistry teacher, used this term on students who were disoriented. It says, even though I never liked chemistry as a subject, I liked Mr. Undo because he made it interesting. Sometimes life will punish you to the extent of giving up, but my advice is please never do. You do, or I'm sorry, it says, you have what it takes to be successful in life no matter what comes your way. Most successful people didn't succeed in just one day. They also made a lot of mistakes and they had many failures before they made it in life. If they did it despite challenges and obstacles, why not you and me? We all have what it takes to be successful. Things are required to make it through in life are patience, time, discipline, and determination. If you apply these 4 things in your journey of success, there is no way you will fail. I have applied them in my life, and I can tell you that I've seen results. Results don't come overnight, as many of you think. It can take days, weeks, months, or even years before you see them. I remember during my final days in Virginia, I had come to the conclusion that I would quit my job. I held to clear abuse, discrimination, and violation of my rights by a group of individuals. Could I let these people who were clearly bullying me dictate the rest of my life? The answer is no. It says I couldn't let them control my destiny. What a shame it would have been if I did that because of them. I had to make the right decision. The decision I made wasn't for anyone else, it was for me. It didn't make I didn't make a decision because I was told to. I made the decision to leave Virginia because of the fact that I was being treated unfairly by young men and women. Even though I had developed a strong relationship with my leadership, I don't think they would have helped me appropriately because things were completely out of control. It would have been harder for them to pinpoint where the problem had started from. Little did they know that I started being treated unfairly a couple months arriving there. So I endured bullying for 3 years. How did it go? I don't know, but I can tell you what helped me was patience and kindness. I respected those who disrespected and treated me unfairly without giving up. This gave me joy and happiness from the outside, though I was suffering from the inside. If you see me type, you'll be amazed. I grew up typing back in Kenya. When I came to America, I took computer classes, which would have shaped my typing skills. To make matters worse, my job involved a lot of writing, which takes me a lot longer than the average person who knows how to do it fast. I had one girl who wouldn't not only tease me, but she would harass me for taking a long time to complete my work. I would just look at her and smile. When I look back at these types of treatment, I usually laugh because they were pointless. In life, you will face criticism, embrace it. Do you know criticism is also important to some extent? Criticism opens up our eyes to things that we may have overlooked or never even considered. Whether it's review of your work, whether it's peer review of your work or a performance review, constructive criticism, or even feedback can help you grow by giving you the opportunity for improvement. If the girl that was criticizing me would have done a good job of helping me type a little bit faster instead of complaining, it would have been helpful. But for her case, it was just being a bully. Did I stop after she bullied me for typing slow? No. Says I never stopped, and today I still type slow, but the work is still being accomplished. This is what we can call determination. I have felt like giving up several times, but there is always something inside of me that pushes me to my potential, and I strongly believe you have it too. Since I said that, I'm going to do great things and I will never give up. I have continued to accomplish a lot of things for sure. Sometimes you just need to believe in yourself and that you can do it and then put the hard work in. Put in the hard work. It says, without hard work, nothing can be done. There is no miracle when it comes to success. I have always wanted to be a good public speaker. I still struggle with this skill today. But have I given up? No. I still stand in front of people. Sometimes I felt horrible while doing briefings. I remember one day I was offering a briefing Zoom and my flight commander was in attendance. I didn't know anything I said was heard. What I know is that at the end of the briefing, I felt disoriented. I was nervous, anxious, and most likely a confused element. Public speaking is one of those skills that is hard to learn, but it pays off forever once mastered. This is why I've always practiced it with consistency and persistence despite feeling uncomfortable. There are times in life when we can feel overwhelmed, like the pressure is too much. We're not treated right, or dwelling with toxic people and it feels unbearable. Life is never fair, and it will never be if you're expecting that to happen. We're living in a world where good people are often treated as though they are wicked, and wicked people as though they were good. This is the reality of the world, and it is so meaningless. Despite all these things, learn to have a peace of mind. Learn to let it go. If people are never meant for you, walk away. But do not ever let bad people change who you are. I want to say that again. If people are never meant for you, walk away. But do not ever let bad people change who you are. When I was bullied by a young male for not having a girlfriend, he was even ready to help me get one. Did I ever let him change me as a person? I never did. But instead, I avoided him and commended his unacceptable behaviors. I kept my head straight. It was not only embarrassing, but shameful as well. If you want to deal with a fool, pretend to be one. If you meet people like him, learn to be around them because they will not take you anywhere. If you They will not take you anywhere if you truly know your why and who you are. So for the kids out there, I'm going to read that again. If you meet people like him, learn to be around them because they will not take you anywhere if you truly know your why and who you are. So it says, I know my why. That is the reason why I never allowed him to change me as a person. I couldn't let his evil mind pollute mine. He was one of the main reasons why I left Virginia. Always to do what's best in your, or it says, always do what's best in your interest. We all have times where we have been doing our best, standing strong, but it has been difficult. Nothing has changed. And now we're tired with almost everything. We don't feel like we can proceed on with our journey in life. Sometimes we feel like that's the end of life. Don't expect that life will always be easy as you think. Life is hard. Life is hard. But if you reach this point, take a break. If you believe in God as I do, pray and worship Him. Spend time with your family or friends. Take a trip. And most importantly, always take care of yourself because no one else will do it for you. After doing all these things, come back again strong and continue while you left off. Always, it says, always remember that tough times never last. Robert Schuller wrote, tough times never last, but tough people do.
Good. Wow,
Man,
that's a
brother, this
wonderful. Yeah,
wow, dude, this chapter is fire, man.
yeah. It's very short but fire, right?
Very short but fire, man. I love it. I love it, man.
Yes. Hmm.
So, for anybody out there that might have any questions, feel free to type in the comments below. And I
Hmm.
have some questions for myself, Collins.
Yes.
When you, because I relate to
Hmm.
some of that. I've been in
Yes.
work settings where, people can bully you subliminally to where
Hmm.
like the outside people can't see, to
Yes.
where
Hmm.
like you'll seem delusional if you tell your story,
Yes.
and they're like, wait,
Yep.
we don't see nothing
Hmm.
going wrong. And
Yes.
so
That.
I just actually went kind of through that with two insurance companies. And
Hmm.
so when you were saying like, did this situation change me or change who you were? Or it
Hmm.
changed your why, they didn't change your why. You still
Hmm.
continue to be you. And
Yep.
that's the example of battle strong, right? Just
Yes.
standing firm in your faith, understanding who
Hmm.
we are for all the youth out there, right? Because
Yes.
somebody's going to tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not
Hmm.
tall enough, that you're not
Yes.
handsome enough, that you're not
Yes.
beautiful enough. And
Yes.
so,
Or you're ugly. You know.
yeah, or you're ugly, or
Yes.
or you can't read. I've been told I stutter when I read,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
nothing stops me from reading. And so,
Yes.
um, I love that transparency and vulnerability that you shared there because again, I related to it, and then also to be inspired by your story, brother, and see the things
Yes.
that God is doing in your life. It's
Hmm.
amazing. It's amazing
Yes.
when you don't give up and when you don't let people puppet you
And
and you're like, wait a second, God is my shot caller. He's the one that's in control. I'm following
yes.
him. He made
Yes.
me in his image. And
Yeah,
so that's
absolutely.
amazing.
Yes.
So
And
I would say, so when you were writing that book or actually going through that adversity and leaving, Virginia, what thoughts
yes.
were going through your mind before you left Virginia? And then
Yes.
how do you feel after since you left Virginia?
Wow. Actually, when I left Virginia, that was September of 2021, and I came here in Oklahoma City. And one of the things was to do something because I had gone through intense bullying and also some form of discrimination, and that's where I can put it. And I wanted to condemn those type of behavior. And when I arrived here, I thought of some option, and writing was one of them because I needed to use writing to condemn those behavior and also share my life experiences before I moved here from Kenya. And given the fact that I can write, I'm going to use that tool to educate and also condemn some of the issue that happens around us because we're living in a world where we have full of bigotry, full of hooliganism, and again, as I said earlier, discrimination is prevalent, especially being in America here. And we cannot allow those type of issues to make us victim. We have to condemn them. And again, hopefully I answered your question. But when I came here, I needed to put in writing and I needed to condemn those type of behavior because I couldn't allow them to make me a victim for sure.
Absolutely, man. I
Yes.
love that answer, man, because I
Yes.
mean you're a prime example of
Mhm.
what we like to say, battle strong, right? Standing in our faith. And
Yes.
I can only imagine leaving Virginia and all the
Mhm.
different healthy relationships that you did have, and take
Yes.
and walking in faith and trusting in God and seeing what you're doing now. Like I said, is so inspiring, and putting it in a
Yes.
book, telling your story.
Hmm.
sharing your vulnerability and continuing to stand strong, right? And to continue to
Absolutely.
keep your faith.
Yes.
It's inspiring, brother. And I think the youth, I think this is a great opportunity for the youth to see
Hmm.
somebody to persevere, right? And what I think I shared with you on Sunday, God shared with me last week. We go through trials and tribulations, but they equal testimonies. They lead to testimonies, right? And so
Yes.
during your trials of discrimination and being treated unfairly and stuff, God was
Hmm.
just shaping you and molding you during that time. Like you said,
Yes. Hmm.
your why was so much bigger than their opinions of you. And
Yes. Absolutely.
that's what the focus is with where we build our faith, right? Because in
Hmm.
order to build our faith, we have to go through those trials and tribulations, right? In
Yes.
order to
Absolutely.
have the testimony. And your book
Hmm.
is a powerful testimony. I'm so
Absolutely.
grateful to continue reading this book. It's
Hmm.
inspired me every single time I read it, brother. I
Yes.
love taking the time off of dialing the phones and doing this podcast, this
Yes.
weekly podcast of digging into this book because I always say another day is always another opportunity.
Absolutely.
His book is called
Hmm.
Just the Other Day, and it
Yes.
allows me at times to reflect and keep that mindfulness, right? That
Hmm.
another day is always another opportunity, and that our trials might have been
Hmm.
just the other day, and our tribulations might have been just the other day. But when we wake up, it's another opportunity for that testimony, right, to blossom. And that's what we
Yes.
see here in this book, and that's what we see in his life, in Colin's life. And so I'm so grateful for your time, brother. Does anybody have any questions in the comments that you guys want to answer or ask Collins? We're open,
And
all ears open. There's no rush here.
yes, and absolutely. Thanks so much. Even before somebody can answer your question, and I just love working with you. I know when we met, I didn't know that you would be able to go even over the book. And you decided just jump over it. And you say you're going to read it. And I like what you're doing and continue doing that because that's the way you can reach so many people. People like reading. I can say probably doing this type of stuff would be much better reaching out to so many people going through the same thing that I've had to experience, especially being in this country. And if you look throughout the book, it has 18 chapters. And one of the chapters, Staying True to Yourself at the end, that's chapter 18. And then we also have chapter 17 as well, Being Prepared for the Unexpected as well. And these are some of the things that we struggle with. And the main one also being dealing with difficult people because we're surrounded by difficult people all over. It can be our family members, it can be our co-workers, it can be our leadership. And again, you cannot allow them to change you. It's just a matter of you finding ways to navigate around those type of individuals because we know our worth and we know our why, as I said earlier. And again, we cannot allow this type of circumstances prevent us from achieving what we want in life. Mm.
Absolutely. No, I totally
Yes.
agree. And I
Hmm.
feel like you nailed this question because this was going to be my next question for any youth that might come across this video. What
Yeah.
would you tell a young woman or a young man, whether they're in grade school or high school or maybe even college, and they're
Hmm.
facing, outside pressures and negative influences, from their groups or friends, trying to change who they are, or trying to make fun of them or bully them or anyone facing discrimination? Like, what would you tell them? um I guess what would you tell them?
I
Sorry,
believe the
I was trying
only.
to.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, you're fine. I just was getting tongue tied, my mouth dry. That's why I've been talking on the phones all day.
Yes, absolutely. I know you're busy also. The only thing I can tell them: never let anybody change who you are. And again, you know your why and you know the reason why you're here on this earth. God brought you here for a reason. And you cannot let your coworker or your friend or your enemy change who you are. Be yourself. And again, that's chapter 18, staying true to yourself. Mm.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Stay true to
Yes.
yourself. Stay true to
Mhm.
yourself. Know your
Yes.
why. Keep
Hmm.
your faith, right?
Yes.
And
Hmm.
trust the process.
Yes.
And what I love to say when we face adversity in life, it's
Hmm.
almost like every day we wake up, we're in a boxing ring, right?
Yes.
And so
Hmm.
working with difficult people, boom, there goes
Yes.
a jab. And you feel the jab, you're like, man, I feel that discrimination, or I feel that cold shoulder, I feel that, right? You feel it.
Yes.
And so,
Hmm.
like you said earlier, learning how to navigate. And so,
Hmm.
the way we navigate that jab is know your why, right? So, they're going to
Yes.
throw that jab, know your why. Oh, you missed, right?
Yes.
So,
Yep.
we can look at it kind of like that and make it fun. That's how I see life, at least when I wake up. I'm like, all
Hmm.
right, doubt, fear, rejection, anger, comfort, they all must fall. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, I'm just
Yes.
grateful for this time again and for your time, Collins.
Hmm.
If anyone has any questions again, or if you guys watch this video later on and you guys have questions, we can definitely go live at a later date and definitely, do a whole question and answer video podcast if you guys would like as well. So
And I'm looking
is there
forward to go actually. I'm looking forward to go over other chapters as well as I told you before we went live.
Sure.
And again, we have about how many chapters left?
Yeah, so we got
Around 11.
13, 11 chapters left. That's
Yes,
awesome, man,
those.
because I'm loving this book, man. I don't want it to end.
Yes, it's a lot of there's a lot of chapters for sure. And again, I'm very sure I'll find time to hop in and be able to go live with you because you've been doing a good job, and I'm glad that you're doing that just to again reach so many people, as I said earlier as well. And as you go over this book, you will realize we have some very very good chapters here.
Oh yeah,
And one of the easiest one would probably be call you should always be involved in sports like other students. And again, that statement came from my mom most often before she passed away of brain tumor in 2018. And again, she would tell me anytime she would visit me in school, that was back in primary school and also secondary school, because I'm one of those people that never got involved in sports so much
yeah,
because I was more of studying and trying to get good grades, and I never took seriously when it comes to education. And when I moved here in the United States, being in the military, also you have to understand that we have to stay fit. And I've been participating in so much runs,
sure.
and I've also been playing some soccer here and there. I'm not competitive, even though I support Manchester City, one of the beautiful team in the world. I'm not a good soccer player, but I can run.
Yeah.
So if you look at chapter 9 and chapter 10, you'll be able to uh, see some of the things that I've done, especially when it comes to sports as well. That's chapter 9 and chapter 10. That was just more of what was life like in primary and secondary school while in Kenya. Mm.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, man. And
Yes.
chapter 11, where it says it's okay to cry, because I think as men, we're always taught hold everything in, and we have a high suicide rate for men. I think it's very
Yes.
important, men,
Mhm.
to address that issue as well, which we did address
Yep.
suicide
Chapter 4.
in chapter
Mhm.
what 4, I believe. Was that
Yes.
chapter 4?
It was chapter 4. Together we can stop suicide. And
Yeah,
again, when it
chapter
comes
4.
to suicide, is one of those things that has been happening for a long time. And again, it's just a matter of seeking help and learning to talk. We
Yeah,
deal with
yeah,
some things in life, and it's good to understand and also take a break, even if it has to do with just talking to a therapist, talking to a friend that you trust, and also sharing amongst your coworkers if you truly trust your coworker, because some of us don't trust our coworkers.
yeah,
And it's just good. It's just the way I'm trying to put it is opening well when you're okay to do that, because you don't
right,
want to force yourself opening up when you don't feel like doing when you don't feel like doing that.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So together we can stop suicide. That's chapter 4. And again, suicide is one of the common issue that has been taking so many lives throughout the world, and it has to stop. We can do
Definitely.
better reaching out and also just checking on our friends. You never know, because they're going through tough times. Probably they're going through financial stresses, legal stresses, and also um, problems with their family members. You never know. So it's good to
Yeah,
check on them and find out if they're doing okay. And by doing that, you're probably saving their life. You know. And
absolutely,
again,
man.
yes. And when it comes to chapter, you mentioned it's okay to cry. Again, it's okay to cry, as I said again, because some of us feel like crying is one way of feeling weak. and
Right,
it's never a
right.
sign of weakness. And again, it's again, I'll still repeat, it's okay to cry.
Facts. It
Yes.
is. Absolutely. It is. You have to express yourself.
Yes.
I'm a very transparent person. Those that follow me on Instagram or
Mhm.
anything, has saw my tears and I grew up in a fifth full of women, and I think that might give me an edge as far as expressing myself, wearing my heart on my
Mhm.
sleeve. But what I've learned over time, just understanding like who I am, right? Or why. Like you said, like starting off understanding who we are. We're made in God's image. And when we
Yes.
understand our purpose,
Mhm.
like other people's opinions of us doesn't matter because God has already equipped us to go out here and be called to go do the works that we're meant to do, right?
Mhm.
God's not
Yes.
laughing at us or mocking us or he's not
Yes.
going to discriminate against us, right? So
Yes. Mhm.
that's the best feeling, understanding the battle has already been won
Be one.
and
And another day is always
another opportunity, brother.
absolutely.
I love it, man.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
have any question for me? I know.
I'm trying to think, man.
Yes.
What's your favorite food in America that you can compare to Kenya? And then what's your favorite American food that you have that's not comparable to Kenya?
Oh, that's a tough question because you have to understand moving from a different country, especially when you're grown up and you find a different diet and having to adapt to it. It's very tough. I've really
Yeah.
struggled because we have so many food here that I've never liked since I moved here, actually.
Yeah.
So my favorite food here, I'll probably say chicken and rice.
Hey, I like chicken and rice. That's a great answer, man. I had some
Yeah,
the other day, but with some sauteed onions.
yeah. Just the other
Sauce.
day, the title of the book.
Just the other day, man. Ain't got good.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
as good as
So
that
the
rice
food,
I ate.
yeah, the food here is. I wouldn't say it's not terrible. I wouldn't say it's terrible for sure because I don't want to disrespect also people who are
No,
born
you're
here
fine.
with what they're used to eating.
Yeah,
So I would say I'm just not used to it. And
yeah,
given the fact that it's processed, we have fast food. You can go to Walmart and buy chicken, and that chicken is not even good because it's just, yeah, it's just not good.
you're right.
It's not natural.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
those are some of the things that I've really struggled with. But I will say my favorite food, as I said earlier, again, it's just chicken and rice. And moving all the way from Kenya, the only thing that I miss there is natural stuff. We have vegetables, we have chicken. Before you cook chicken, you run, catch it, and kill it and cook.
Yeah, yeah.
Not just kill
It's
it, but
not.
you
It
cook.
doesn't go through all these extra machines and all this
Yes,
other stuff.
that's what I mean. It doesn't go through all these extra machines to be processed. Yeah, you just again run it, or you just wait until it gets back to the house, catch it, kill it, and cook. Yeah.
Dude, I bet you those are the best chicken nuggets. Sorry
Hmm.
to all the vegetarians out there. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm just being honest. I bet
Hmm.
those are the best chicken nuggets probably in Kenya because I don't know if anybody's ever saw the video of how chicken nuggets are made in America as far as McDonald's,
Yes.
but they're pink and they look like Laffy Taffy. If you guys
Hmm.
know what that looks like, it looks nasty. So I really don't. After I got seafood poisoning last year, I didn't
Yes.
even know I had seafood poisoning until I almost died from food.
Yep.
I
Hmm.
started taking superfoods and stuff like that. One of my insurance clients actually shared it with me. She lives in Hawaii, and that
Hmm.
made me be more cognitive and mindful of the foods that we put on our body. So I totally understand where you're coming from, brother. To go, everything's natural over there, and then you come
Yes.
over here, and it's like,
Hmm.
yo, why is it going through all these different processes first? Like,
Yes. Yes.
it's
Yes.
right there. Just
Absolutely.
grab it, cut the head off,
Mhm.
and throw it in a pan, and let's get it.
Yes. 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 Yeah. And again, it's just, yeah, I believe, and that's why you see so many cases of obesity in this country also,
Mhm.
because too much parts, the food is processed. Like today, we were just having a conversation earlier with one of my coworker, some energy drinks that we have here also. And
Right.
again, I'm not a big fan of. I don't work out a lot, even though I'm supposed to do that.
Mhm.
I run frequently, then I work out, and just imagine some of the supplements that people have to take as well. You know, it's
Right.
those some of
Yeah.
the things that are killing us slowly, then without knowing. Mm,
No, it's true. You're absolutely
yes.
right. And I've thought about
Mhm.
that. I think in high school, I remember either as a coach or it was the father of one of the athletes. But I remember right before a race, he was telling me about just people back in the day, right? They couldn't go to Walmart and buy some whey protein or creatine or all these different supplements and everything, to sustain their health and wellness. They had to go out there and put the work in, the sweat and
Yes.
equity to actually feed themselves, but to also gain access to those different nutrients and vitamins, right? And
Yes.
so nowadays, everything is so processed and instant gratification. When you're hungry, I could like right now, if I'm hungry, I can go to McDonald's and buy that pink meat nasty stuff that people
Yeah.
eat still. I don't know why, but I can't do it, dude. I cannot do it no more.
Yes.
I wouldn't even feed it to a homeless guy. Like literally, like I
Mhm.
for those out there that know, I serve the homeless. That's why I said that. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't even give them, any processed food or something like that. But yeah, brother, man, this has been a great podcast, man. I'm so interested to just continue learning more about your story. And my big
Yes.
word is seeking to understand, because
Mhm.
when we seek to understand, that means we're devoting time to
Yeah.
understand people,
Mhm.
places, things, right? That what makes up
Yes.
this life, what makes up this world. And so
Yes.
I encourage us to seek to understand how God could be using you through your
Mhm.
adversity, through the discrimination, through the doubt, through the fear, through the rejection, through the anger, right? Because
Mhm.
these are all emotions that we're going to feel when we go through these trials and
Mhm.
tribulations. But I
Yes.
always need you guys to keep in mind these trials and tribulations lead to one thing. And what is that? Testimony. So
Yes.
understand that your story
Mhm.
could make his story, right? And
Yes.
so
Mhm.
thank you, Collins, for making
Yes.
your
And
story, because this story is his story.
yes.
Literally.
And again, each
But
and every one of us has a story. That's one of the chapter there.
yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, God is good, man. We're
Yes.
dealing with these word tracks. What is the
Yes.
football? What is the football thing behind me? Oh, so yeah, this is me when I was a kid. I use that for accountability's sake, because this young kid needed people like us, like Collins. So Collins, for those of you guys that don't know, Collins is a member of the military. So we always want to give our thanks to those who served our country and those who are to continuing to serve our country. For you, Collins, to come from Kenya and to come serve over here, what has that been like for you before we're in? Like, what has that experience been like
Well,
for you?
actually, that's a good question. Given the fact that when I came in this country, I didn't know that I was coming actually to serve in military, and being in the world's greatest air force is is one of those things that I didn't expect. And
Mm,
being in, I've learned a lot, and I've liked the structure. Given the fact that I've had I've met some very good people along the way, and I've also met some very difficult people. And again, that's just the journey of life. You meet some things, and again, it's just a matter of knowing how to navigate around them, as we talked earlier. And
right.
again, I'm just so proud to serve in the world's greatest air force. And again, I never thought that I will be able to serve this country. And given the fact that I have an opportunity, I will use that opportunity for the time that I'm going to be in.
Hey, man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes. Hmm.
Thank you, Amy, for your subscription. I will be sure to. Can I subscribe right away to her? I'm gonna pin that. I need to make sure. I wish I could subscribe to these people as soon as like they do that, because I want to make sure.
Hmm.
I want to make sure I don't forget. So, well, I never forget, but I think well, she subscribed, so to show me the notification, I'll subscribe back. Amy, thank you so much. I just always wanna. I'm really big on connecting with people and making sure that people know I see them, and this is never about me or likes or subscribers or nothing like that. I like actually
Hmm.
knowing who people are and stuff like that, and
Absolutely.
that's what stems from this book. When I met
Yes.
Collins,
Hmm.
I instantly was like, man, I want to know more about him.
Yeah.
He was interesting. He had a cracked a big smile. He was positive. His energy was just it was
Hmm.
abnormal. It was different. It was warm. And so I was like,
Yeah.
man, I I see a lot of potential in this man. And I wanna know more about him. And next thing I know, he I come to church and he shows me a book. I'm like, bro, you're an author? And so it's amazing to just when we take the time to seek to understand, right? Because
Mhm.
everything isn't always what it seems. You see, his old co-workers didn't know that he's probably an author. His old
Yeah.
co-workers didn't know that he's God's child. His old
Yeah.
co-workers didn't know that he's strong, that he's
Mhm.
courageous, that he's battle strong.
Mhm.
They didn't know that. So now
Yes.
they know, now they
Yes.
know. But I'm just so grateful to know myself, right?
Yes.
Because
Mhm.
learning his story through this book just the other day, it's amazing. It's amazing, Collins, and I appreciate you for sharing this opportunity for us all. Um, Thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate you. And so before we end, guys, I want to end off in prayer, and then me and Collins will end off if you guys don't have any questions. But dear Lord, I come to you right now, and I pray for any youth, God, any men, women, no matter what age, no matter what background, no matter what race, no matter what socioeconomic class, no matter what geographical location they're in, God, I pray that you provide us all clarity, peace of mind, understanding, discernment, direction, love, peace, unity, God, social change among all of the nations in the entire world. When we are understand that we're God's children, we have one God. We have one God, and there's only one God. He is a shot caller. So there's no reason for any of us to compare ourselves or compare our stories to the next person. We all have a story. So I pray, God, that when we all wake up, brush our teeth in the mirror, and we look at or brush our teeth and we look in the mirror, that we understand that we are somebody, that we're made in God's image, that we understand that we battle strong, that any battles that we're facing, whether it's physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, geographically, right? Any type of battles, God, that feels like they're on our chest or on our shoulders or our back is against the wall or we're facing discrimination at our workplace or outside the workplace, whatever it is, God, I pray that we always remember that the battle has already been won. That when we walk bold in our faith through our trials and tribulations, they're only going to lead to testimonies. So let the people fall off that don't believe in us. Let the people fall off that says that you're not enough. Let the people fall off that says that you can't read fast enough or that you can't type fast enough or whatever it may be. And I pray that we continue to battle strong together and that we understand that this is about God, that this is about a bigger purpose, much bigger than us, and this is not our home. So understand that every trial and tribulation and adversity that we face from this day on out, that we understand that the battle has been won, and we continue to battle strong, and we use people like his testimony, like Colin's testimony, and so many other testimonies out there as a reminder of our why we're here, and that all the adversities was just the other day, and that today is another opportunity to continue to battle strong. Amen.
Amen. Wow, a wonderful prayer.
Thank you, man. I had to throw in some. Well, God, I mean, God. When
Yes.
I pray, man, I really want to make sure that people understand. Like, I care about people, man. Like, I care about anybody, even if somebody catches this when I'm dead and gone. Like, I want people to be prayed for. I want people to be loved, because, as you
Excellent.
said, we all face discrimination,
Mhm.
or some forms of adversity, right?
Yeah.
Or bullying. I think we all go
Absolutely.
through it. Even bullies get bullied. So just want
Yes.
to make sure that we're standing up for everybody and create a safe place for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a wonderful. And again, it's a pleasure to have known you, and we'll continue working with you, Joshua. And I always learn from you as well, especially what you do serving families and also
Thank
going
you.
over books from Monday to Friday. And I don't know what you're discussing tomorrow. Are you
Yeah,
doing something
tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Yep. Tomorrow is Financial Literacy Friday.
Yes.
So, we're as I hit rock bottom, I became a business owner, and I needed to learn financial literacy. So I was like, let me go live so that way I can share it with the youth, share it with those who come from backgrounds like me or even Collins, who might
Mhm.
need that mentor or life coach, to have that resource out there so that way people can have the opportunity to learn, and a safe place where you won't get mobbed, you won't get
Mhm.
made fun of, you won't get called broke, you won't
Yes.
be told you're not good
Yes.
enough. We battle
Mhm.
strong over here, and we prosper over
Yes.
here, and we stand firm in our faith over here, and we
Yes.
all are going to make it to the kingdom. So that's what this is about. Just providing the tools and resources to
Yes.
the community And this is the main thing. When I read this, I'll share this real quick. This is the reason why I started this book, is because this quote right here says financial literacy impacts almost three-fourths of the world. Financial
Yeah.
literacy is the lack of education about money and finance, especially personal finance. It enables governments and corporations driven to meet the demands of stakeholders and shareholders to
Hmm.
leverage the ignorance of
Hmm.
citizens and customers for their own power and gain. So when I read that,
Yes.
I said, I got to dive into this and I got to share it because I'm not a gatekeeper. I open
Yes.
books around here. We dig
Yes.
in and we share the
Yes.
good news.
Yes. We share the good news. Absolutely. And we learn more
Yes,
from
sir.
books, you know?
Yes, sir. It's true. And you know what? I
Yes.
went from when I was a kid, I didn't really read books. I was
Yeah.
intimidated. I read slow. I was made fun of also for reading. I just I didn't have that confidence, to be honest with you. I
Yes.
didn't have that confidence. And now here I am reading like six different books at
Mhm.
once, but chapter to chapter, day by day,
Yes.
including the Bible too. And so
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
just knowledge is wisdom. And
It's
so I'm
power.
just trying to, yeah, it's power. So I just continue to try to learn as much as I can, um, because one day my son, my daughter, my family, my wife are going to have
Mhm.
questions. They're going to have concerns.
Yes.
They're going to go through adversities. They're going to look up to
Yes.
me to be able to provide with them solutions to their problems. And if I run from my problems, if I run from the truth, if I run from resources that are going to help me propel in life, then I won't
Mhm.
succeed. And I'll always make excuses. So I understood through rock bottom.
We all do.
The more, yeah, the more that I learn, the more that we,
Mhm.
we keep growing.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you get loads of views? You're how do you get loads of views? You're a nice man. You're you're kind when you do good. I appreciate you, Amy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not for sure. So yeah, we got like 5 viewers now, but there's people out there they buy their followers. Not everybody.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, there's people you can buy like your influence, but we don't do that over here. So the best
Mhm.
part about over here is this is a safe place, and then we get
Yes.
to know each other just like
Mhm.
this. So if I bought a bunch of robots, I wouldn't even people would talk to me probably, but they wouldn't even be like real people. So
Yeah.
um all you're gonna see over here is nothing but truth, raw transparency,
Mhm.
and people with true stories themselves. So
Yes.
that's the best part about over here is
Yep.
nothing to hide, nothing to run from. We battle strong over here. We face our trials and tribulations because they turn to testimonies every single time.
Absolutely. That's true, Joshua. That's true. Wow. Wow.
God
That
is
was a
good.
wonderful session. And being my first ever live podcast, I'm super excited.
I'm excited too, man. I'm excited
And I,
too. I'm excited
and I,
for more and just to get to know
yeah,
you more too.
yes. And I'm looking forward to go over live with you together more often. And again, for those who don't know, also, I have my second book here. This one is Racism in Football, aka Soccer. You can find it on Amazon as well. And oh, here's the copy.
Hey, I'm out here.
As a copy, I didn't know
Let's
he had it.
go.
I know I gave him a copy, but I never knew he had it close to him, actually.
Yeah. And guys, I got an autograph copy too.
Yeah,
An
yes.
autograph
I believe
copy.
it's in the back.
Yeah, it's in the back. He signed it. Let's
Yes.
go. From the man
Yes.
in the flesh. We got Collins in the flesh with us, y'all. I told y'all we had
Yeah.
a special guest. I don't know if y'all caught that the last time, but he's here. He's with us. He's here.
Yeah, but for
Man,
those who don't
brother.
know, the second book is more of all these black players who have been racially abused in Europe. And again, I was inspired to write this book when one of my favorite players that plays for Real Madrid, which is not my team, was racially abused last year, May the 21st of, again, 2023. And I needed to condemn those behavior. What I did is just to highlight the incident that happened on that day, and I go over some of the other players who have gone through similar type of experiences. And I also come here in United States and I condemn some of the things that I've seen, especially when it comes to law enforcement officers and black people being brutalized in their apartments, in their houses without any good reason. So those are some of the behaviors that I condemn because this is just racial profiling and it shouldn't go on for sure because we're living in a society where everyone deserve a right to live without being threatened. And we just need to keep the faith that one day this type of stuff will go away, because we are all human beings and we deserve to have peace of mind, even in our apartments, in our houses, without being discriminated against. Mm, yes.
No, absolutely, man. I agree. I agree, man. And I told people the other day, when we take the time to like compare ourselves, like when I first met you, brother, like I looked for opportunities to learn more about you. I didn't
Yes.
look at what I could not like about you. I didn't know you, but that's what a
Yes.
lot of people do in our society. Like, ugh, who is that? Or why are they wearing that? Or why is their hair
Yes.
this way? Or their makeup
Yes.
is terrible, or this, that. And it's like, why are you spending time? Like, you don't have enough stuff going on good in your life, and that's why
Yes.
you're focused on that. So
Mhm.
we have to understand that stems to our why. When we wake
Yes.
up every day and we understand our why, we live purposeful, right?
Yes.
And when we make intent decisions to speak, everything is efficient. Everything is about productivity. Everything is healthy, is warm. It's not like, hey, let me take the time out to just be hateful,
Yes.
and I think how people feel definitely inside,
Yes.
that's them releasing out to other people instead of them stopping right then and there and saying, wait a second, their
Yes.
hair's not messed up. They walked outside and wore their hair that way. Maybe my mindset is messed up, right?
Yes.
But we don't
Yes.
do that. We don't
Mhm.
take the time to really self-evaluate ourselves. And I think the more that we seek to understand, and the more that we seek to see God
Yes.
in everybody, because He's in everybody, right? But He's just working on all of us at different times. Like, we're all on different times, right? Like, me and I didn't receive God in my life when you did. It was
Yes.
different timing, right? So it's different
Yes.
strokes for different folks. And when we realize that, coming from a teaching background, kids walking into my room on the first day, there's no
Yes.
parent in the world that would ever
Mhm.
say they would allow their kid to come to my classroom if, as soon as their kid walked in my classroom and I said, oh, he's ugly, oh, she's large, oh, he can't do nothing in life, oh, he's broke. That's what we
Yes.
do as adults. And then we tell
Yes.
people, you can't do that. But as kids,
Yes.
we see their ambition, we see their drive, we see their
Mhm.
passion for what they love, right?
Yes.
I
Mhm.
might tell a kid, hey, go try to lift up that car. And they might
Yes.
be like, but then they might try it. But if I tell an adult, hey, lift
Mhm.
that car, what do you do? What do you have me do that for? You know what I mean? Kids have an ambition, and that's what I love about just working with kids, and that's what's rubbed off on me. I have a lot of ambition because I have a childlike
Mhm.
heart. Like, I want to learn. I want to continue learning, and that's what
Yes.
stems back to seeking to understand as adults,
Yep.
right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Understanding each other, taking the
Yep.
time to seek to understand those who are different than us, those who speak
Yes.
differently, those who come from
Yes.
different walks, backgrounds,
Yep. Yep.
different cultures, right?
Yep.
Just like me and
Mhm.
Collins. Like, this is
Yeah.
awesome.
And you brought up
Imagine
a
if
good
he,
point. Yeah. You brought up a
or you,
good point actually about seeking to understand different cultures and again people as well. Because for those who don't know, I also started my podcast, and very soon I will be actually going live over the weekend on my third episode,
let's
which is on
go.
the title of chapter 13 of my second book, One Tree Different Flowers. And
Man,
when you think of one tree, different flowers, different colors, one people.
yep, it's
Yeah.
true. It's
Yeah,
true.
so
Wow.
that's how life is. We are all different, but one people, and we are all over from all walks of life, from all over the world, from different countries, different continents, and just being able to understand each other will alleviate some of the things we see in our societies today. Hatred all over the place.
Facts. I absolutely agree with you. I could not ever disagree with that. Seeking to
Yes.
understand spiritually, seeking to
Mm-hmm.
understand mentally, seeking to understand physically, seeking to understand emotionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Financially,
Yes.
all these different ways we're seeking to understand in the I Am Battle Strong 101 that this is a part of, that you guys are a part of right now. And I appreciate you again, Collins, for your time. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate Amy and those of you guys that tuned in. Shout out to those of you guys that are subscribing. Feel free to make sure that you go subscribe to Collins' channel. Collins, go ahead and let them know the name of your channel.
Yes, actually, I just started. It's going to be at writing underscore sensitive topics.
Okay, awesome.
Yes,
So make
yes.
sure you guys go subscribe, and then you guys can also find him. Where's another place they can find you on Instagram?
Yeah, they can find me on Facebook. They can also find me on here and also Instagram. I also have LinkedIn. That's how they say it. Yes, it is a yes. I do
Yeah, they
have
said, could you
LinkedIn as well.
repeat that? Yep. So
Oh,
what
I'm
we'll
sorry.
do is they said, could you repeat that?
Okay, it's going.
The where to find you at?
Yeah, it's going to be. Oh, he can actually. He or sh- he or she can look me up actually,
Okay.
and that's going to be Collins Ombikhwa. She can just type me up, Collins Ombikhwa, and she should be able to find me.
Okay. So
Yes.
if you guys type in Collins, so that's Collins, and
Mm.
then his last name Ombikhwa.
Yes.
That's how you guys
Absolutely.
can find him on all platforms. And then Amy asked, do you have kids? Me personally, I have a dog. I call her my dogger, my daughter. It's
Yes.
not funny, I know, but I have a
Uh,
dog.
for,
I have a dog. But do you have
yeah.
kids?
I don't have kids, and
No kids.
again, yeah, I'm looking forward to have some in the future, one or two.
Hey, me too,
Yes.
brother. I'm like, I don't know what God is gonna call for me. I don't know. I hope my future wife, she's gotta love to serve. She's gotta love to.
Ye-
That's all I do. I can't have no
Yes.
one like, dude. Well, you gotta stop serve. You serve too much. No, 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 no. I'm on patrol, man. I'm on my mission. I understand my why.
Yeah.
Just like Collins does. And so, if anyone has any more questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I got a dog and a chihuahua. Hey, that's awesome, Amy. I'm gonna subscribe to you too. I'm not gonna forget. So if
Yes.
anybody doesn't have any questions, we'll go ahead and close out for this podcast. This has been an amazing podcast. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you, Amy, and everyone else. I believe. Let me see. Brick King, thank you for you as well for engaging. And again, make sure that you guys go subscribe over to Colin's channel. Stay tuned. He has podcasts coming up. Feel
Mm.
free to check out his book. This book, we'll start with this one first. Just the other day, this book can be
Yes.
bought on Amazon. Feel free to go
Mhm.
to Amazon, check that out. It is a fire book, guys, and stay tuned. Every Thursday, we're dissecting it chapter by
Yes.
chapter. This book is next on the list, y'all. Racism
Yes.
and football, aka soccer, are players free?
Mhm.
So we're gonna address this question in this book after we get done finishing this book, guys. This summer is lit. This summer is pumped, full of nothing but transparency and nothing but a nonfiction book from my brother Colin. So thank you again for your
Mm.
vulnerability, your transparency, your time, as well as your inspiration, brother. God is using your light, and we cannot let it go dim over here. So we're gonna share all the good news that God has done in your life that you're willing to share with us. So thank you.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much for
I get
allowing
excited
me
about
to
this
be
stuff.
here. Hmm.
Thank
Awesome.
you, brother. All righty. Well, until next time, guys, I will see y'all next Thursday. We are out. Continue to battle strong. I'm out.